Vandeham Shri Guru Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsam
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome back to yet another wonderful episode of Pariprashna, episode number 49. So we are discussing the very last section of Canto 3 of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this whole section, about 9 chapters, from chapter number 25 to chapter number 33 is very, very enlightening in that it's a very unique discussion between a mother and a son, where the son has taken the position of a guru and the mother has surrendered to her son, and she's asking such wonderful questions that can act like a guiding light for all of us. So we've already discussed the 25th chapter in the previous episode. So where Mother Devahuti, she expressed her disgust, how she's disgusted with all this disturbance created by her asat indriya, material senses, and she requests, prays to her son to dispel that ignorance, that illusion. So in answer to that, Kapila Dev, he very nicely explains about Bhakti Yoga. And in explaining Bhakti Yoga, the supremacy of it, he also talked about the importance of association with devotees. And who is a sadhu? He gave a very nice description of the Swarupa Lakshana, the Tatastha Lakshana, the primary and secondary characteristics of a devotee. And then she comes back and asks, okay, so what is the easiest and the immediate way? How should I perform Bhakti Yoga so I can attain your lotus feet? And along with that, she also asked, what about Jnana Yoga? What about the Jnana and Yoga, that is Hatha Yoga and Jnana Yoga? She wanted to know about that as well. So in the previous chapter, Kapila Dev has already explained that Raghanuga Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, or if not, Sadhana Bhakti, which will elevate you to that stage, is what you need to perform. And in this chapter, Kapila Dev is going to answer her other question. He is going to talk about Jnana or Sankhya. So we have so much to cover. So let's dive right into it by inquiring from His Holiness Bhakti Padma Saurabh Pracharak Swami Maharaj. So Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat.
So Maharaj, Mother Devahuti, when her son, that is Kapila Dev, has clearly explained the supremacy of Bhakti Yoga, no doubt she's inquiring about Bhakti, but along with that, why is she inquiring about Jnana and Yoga, that is Sankhya and Hatha Yoga?
Yeah, this Sankhya and Yoga are not just dry Sankhya and dry Yoga.
Mm-hmm.
This is Jnana Mishra Bhakti and Karma Mishra Bhakti and Yoga Mishra Bhakti.
Okay.
Mishra means a contamination, but still it is Bhakti.
Mm-hmm.
So these are things which are helpful in accepting pure devotional service.
Okay.
So not everybody will be just directly interested in pure devotional service, not take it up. So through jnana, somebody has a contamination of jnana. So now they hear this subject matter of jnana mishra bhakti and then come to the platform of pure devotional service.
Okay.
So this Sankhya spoken by Kapila and Krishna is actually devotional Sankhya. It is not atheistic Sankhya. And it is not another just Jnana Yoga. It is Bhakti. It is Bhakti, but understanding Krishna through the material nature, that is called Sankhya Yoga.
Okay.
How this material nature is actually energy of Krishna. So these yogas, they are not different things. They are actually the same thing at different levels. So it is all bhakti. It is all just bhakti. It is not three things. Jnana yoga, karma yoga, and bhakti yoga, and they are not three things.
Okay.
Ashtanga yoga is not four things. They're actually one thing, bhakti. So when the consciousness is at a particular level, that is known as jnana.
Okay.
The level of particular level of consciousness is known as karma yoga.
Okay.
A particular level of consciousness is known as Sankhya yoga. So these are different rungs of the same ladder. Like many people think that there are three different ladders. They are not three different ladders. They are actually one ladder at different levels of consciousness. When there is attachment to jnana, paribhakta, he's known as jnana mishra bhakta.
Okay.
When there is an attachment to karma of a bhakta, then there is known as karma mishra bhakti. When there is attachment to yoga, ashtanga, then it is known as yoga mishra bhakti. When there is attachment to Krishna himself, that is known as bhakti yoga. That's all.
Okay. Fantastic, Maharaj. So, before we get into this chapter, that is the 26th chapter, I just would like to quote a shloka from Bhagavad Gita, that is chapter number 5, shloka number 4, where Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. Sankhya-yogau prithak-balaah pravadanti na panditaah ekamapyastita samyak ubhayor-vindate phalam. Only the ignorant speak of devotional service, that is karma yoga, as being different from the analytical study of the material world, which is Sankhya. Those who are actually learned say that he who applies himself well to one of these paths achieves the results of both. And to this, in the purport, Prabhupada is writing, let me just find the right one. Yeah. The aim of the analytical study of the material world is to find the soul of existence. The soul of the material world is Vishnu or the super soul. Devotional service to the Lord entails service to the super soul. So, this line I want to highlight here. One process is to find the root of the tree, and the other is to water the root. So, Sankhya is helping us to find the root, and Bhakti is watering the root. So, if you can just speak a little bit about this, Maharaj.
Sankhya-yoga pratakbala pradantina pandita ekam sankyam cha yogam cha. So Sankhya and yoga both are actually one and the same, in the sense that to find out the root of the entire world, that is Sankhya, to understand Krishna through his energies, that is material world, the one energy of Krishna, that is interior energy of Krishna. And the superior energy of Krishna is a living entity. So these are the two ways by which you analyze and understand Krishna. That is called Sankhya. One is through the inferior energy, other is through the superior energy, para and apara, prakriti. So when you find out that Krishna is the source of all material existence, what do you do with Krishna? So then that is, you pour water. That means you pour your emotions at Krishna. You develop love for Krishna. So one is philosophy, other is religion. Srila Prabhupada harmonizes philosophy and religion in a wonderful phrase. He says philosophy without religion is dry mental speculation, and religion without philosophy is a sentiment. So everybody has these tendencies. I want to know, I want to love. Now, if you love someone without knowing, then there is a problem. And if you try just know somebody and don't love him, that's also a problem.
Yeah.
So Krishna consciousness is a nice harmony of knowing and loving. So once you know, then you start loving. That is the purpose of knowing. So when you know Krishna, then you love Krishna. See, just knowing Krishna is also not going to serve the purpose, because by knowing Krishna, if you don't love, it's dry mental speculation. Okay, it's God, Krishna is God. Okay, fine. But you should love him. And if you don't know whom to love and you start loving anybody and everybody thinking is God, then that's also a problem. That's how Srila Prabhupada gives a very nice example of finding the root of the tree and watering the tree.
So in this light, I guess then devotees cannot brush off saying, I'm already watering the root of the tree. What is the need for me to find the root, because I already am watering? So you're saying that love without knowledge is also insufficient. You have to have both knowledge and love.
Definitely. When you love somebody, the knowledge is revealed more and more. When you know, then that is actually one of the aspects of love. When you first know Krishna by analytical study, then what happens is you start loving Krishna. You love Krishna, then you'll appreciate Krishna more, because it is this Krishna who is the source of this material world. When I drink water, the taste in water is because of Krishna. First you understand that I'm drinking water and the taste is because of Krishna, number one. So when you know Krishna, When you start chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, when you start devotional service to Krishna, your appreciation for Krishna increases. Just see, my Krishna is so wonderful, because of which everything becomes tasty.
Beautiful.
So it is not that once you know, you stop knowing and then start loving. It is not like that. Once you know, you start loving, and when you love that person, you'll start knowing more about him. So it is not that once jnana stops, bhakti starts. When you become blind, you don't know anything about him. No, you'll become know more about him. Actually, you'll know more about him in the sense that you'll be bewildered about him. You'll be more bewildered about him. That's the thing.
Nice, very nice. So Maharaj, now getting into the 26th chapter, which is titled Fundamental Principles of Material Nature. Shri Bhagavan Atate sampravakshyami tattvanam lakshanam prithak yad viditva vimuchyeta purushah prakritair gunaihi. The personality of Godhead Kapila continued, My dear mother, now I shall describe unto you the different categories of the absolute truth, knowing which any person can be released from the influence of the modes of material nature. I'll quote the second shloka also. Jnanam nishreyasarthaya purushasyaatmadarshanam yad ahurvarnayetate hridaya granthi bedanam. Knowledge is the ultimate perfection of self-realization. I shall explain that knowledge unto you, by which the knots of attachment to the material world are cut. So nice that Kapila Dev is first describing the benefits of hearing Sankhya. So in the first shloka, he said Vimuchyeta. Just by hearing Sankhya, he said you will be released from the influence of the modes of material nature. And in the second verse, he also said Hridaya Granthi Bedanam. It will cut the knots of attachment to the material world. And also Nishreya Sarthaya. It will help you achieve the ultimate perfection of self-realization. So, what is this Granthi knot? How is it formed? And how does the knowledge of Sankhya cut that knot? So, if you can tell us more about this, Maharaj.
It's very simple. Granthi means knot. It means attachment. When you tie some knot, then it's attachment. So you're attached to this world that I am the controller, I am the enjoyer. So when you hear this world is created by Krishna, you will be completely bewildered. How great is Krishna? How wonderful is Krishna? Then all your knowledge of physics or chemistry or mathematics, the pride what you have, I know I am this, it will be destroyed. Just see how wonderful is Krishna by developing this idea of being associated with Krishna, who is so wonderful. Then the whole world becomes insignificant. When the creator of this world, which you find it is so wonderful, how much wonderful must be Krishna? That makes you give up all your attachments in this world. That's the reason the Sankhya is helpful in destroying our attachments and destroying our ahankara. Ahankara means that I am a physicist. When you read this chapter, you will come to know your Krishna is the best physicist. Krishna is the best mathematician. Everything, best doctor, everything. So naturally, Hridaya Granthi Bedam happened. By this, Purusha Prakriteir Gunaihi Vimuchyeta, you'll transcend the modes of nature. And this is because of the understanding that Krishna is the source of this material world. The Sankhya, atheistic Sankhya, though it gives you Vairagya, but that is not permanent. Why it is not permanent? Because it is atheistic. Vairagya based on atheistic principles is not lasting. That is why those who are practice some kind of renunciation on the name of spirituality, but they were atheistic. What happened? They started with the principle of ahimsa paramo dharma. Now they don't even spare a cockroach. Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Okay. So Maharaj, in the first verse, Kapila Dev also said he is going to describe different categories of absolute truth. So what are those categories, and which kind of spiritualist follows or worships which category of absolute truth?
No, what is being described here is Tattvanam Lakshanam Pitak. Here the word Tattvanam refers to 24 elements.
Oh,
Lakshanam means qualities.
okay.
There is no Tattva Lakshanam. The quality of earth, quality of water, quality of fire, quality of air, quality of ether.
Oh.
Lakshanas. Lakshanas qualities, the symptoms, the nature, the qualities. What is the quality of earth? Earth quality is to give smell, and the quality of earth is to make clay absorb, and quality of water is to flow, give coolness. Quality of air is movement. So these are the qualities which are discussed: earth, water, fire, air, ether. And also qualities of mind, intelligence, false ego, qualities of smell, quality of touch, quality of all these things. 24 elements.
Okay.
What is hand, what is leg, all these things are discussed. That's why this chapter is the Vedic physics or Vedic chemistry.
Interesting, because here they said different categories of absolute truth, but you explained it in terms of characteristics of various material elements.
Yes, absolute truth means energy of the absolute truth, the category of the energy of the absolute truth.
Okay.
So the absolute truth being non-different from energy, so that is the reason it's been described like that.
Okay, got it. So the third verse, Anadir Atma Purusho Nirgunah Prakriteh Paraha Pratyagdhama Swayam Jyotir Vishwam Yena Samanvitam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supreme Soul, and He has no beginning. He is transcendental to the material modes of nature and beyond the existence of this material world. He is perceivable everywhere because He is self-effulgent, and by His self-effulgent luster, the entire creation is maintained. So why does He not explain Supreme Personality of Godhead as Bhagavan? Instead, He's talking about Paramatma, that He's the Supreme Soul.
See, Bhagavan, Paramatma, and Brahman, or Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, they are non-different from each other. It is the description of Krishna at different levels. Now, the whole subject matter of this chapter is material world and its connection with Krishna. When Krishna does the pastime of creating, maintaining, and destruction of this material world, he does it as Paramatma.
Okay.
3 levels of Paramatma. One, Karanadaksha Vishnu, Paramatma of all the universes. Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Paramatma of one universe. And Kshirodaksha Vishnu, the Paramatma for every living entity and every atom. So in this way, the word Atma has been used here for that particular purpose.
Okay.
In the spiritual world, everything is Atma only. Everything is spiritual only. But here the pastime of Krishna's dealing with the material world has been discussed. That is why the word Atma, Anadir Atma, Atma has been described. Here Atatam iti Atma, one who is spread everywhere in the form of his energy. So there's nothing wrong in addressing Krishna as Paramatma. Yes, he is Paramatma. He is the person. When Krishna does the pastime as of dealing with material nature, he is addressed as Paramatma.
Okay, got it. You have emphasized quite a few times that knowledge means knowledge about three things. That is the Supreme Lord, the living entity, and the Prakriti, material nature, and the interaction between these three. So in this whole section, next Kapila Dev is also diving into all these three aspects. He talks about the Lord, he talks about Prakriti, her role in entangling the Jiva, and also the Jiva, why the Jiva gets bound in this material world. So before we actually take a deep dive into this section, if you can elaborate a little bit more about this aspect, the three, and the interaction between these three.
It is not my lecture, it is there in Bhagavad Gita itself. When Krishna was asked by Arjuna about Jnanam in the 13th chapter, he said, Kim tad Brahma, Kim adhya kshetra, uishetrajna, patpritvityami, Jnanam Gyencha Keshava. So Arjuna asked this question to Krishna, what is Jnana? What is Gyeya? So when Arjuna asked this question, what is Jnana, what is knowledge? Then Krishna clearly answered, saying that Kshetra Kshetrajno Jnanam Yatta Jnanam Asamama. The Kshetrajnayor, Kshetra means the body, Kshetrajnayor means the soul and the super soul. So the interaction between these three is knowledge, matter, spirit, and controller, Chitta, Chittishwara. It's called knowledge. So now in the next few verses, Krishna talks about the interaction between the soul and the material world, the super soul in the material world, and the living entity's condition in the material world. So a relationship between these three, that is Jiva and Paramatma, Jiva and the Atma and Paramatma, Atma and the material nature, and the material nature and the Paramatma. So Paramatma, Krishna, deals with this material world. How does he create? How does he maintain? How does he destroy? And how the living entity actually is servant of Krishna. And now forgetting the servant, his servitude to Krishna, is conditioned to this material world, and then is suffering in this world. This is called Sambandha Jnana.
Okay. So fourth verse, Maharaj, Sa esha prakritim sukshmam daivim gunamayim vibhuho yadrichayai vopagatam abhyapadyata leelaya. As his pastime, that supreme personality of Godhead, the greatest of the great, accepted the subtle material energy which is invested with three material modes of nature and which is related with Vishnu. So why would the jiva suffer? Just so the Lord wants to do this Leelaya. Prabhupada also highlights this word Leelaya. For his pastime, we all have to suffer?
So whatever Krishna does is a pastime only. Then what has happened? Why Krishna had to do this pastime in this material world? Because the living entity wanted to do some time pass. That is the problem. Why the jail is created? Not to make the jailer suffer. It is not because of that. Because some people want to do some time pass. Then the government does the pastime of building the jail. As simple as that. It is not that Krishna wanted you to suffer, that is why he made a jail. No, you wanted to suffer, that is why he made a jail.
Interesting.
Actually, in this world, everybody is attached to suffering. They want to suffer. That is why in this world. When somebody comes, I am fed up with my life. I don't know what to do. My wife is giving trouble to me. My job, my boss is that. So many things. Why are you doing all these things? I just want peace. I just want a place to stay, food to eat, and then be happy. Okay, wait, tomorrow come and join the ashram. We'll give you food to eat. We'll give you all facilities. Stay. Why give up everything? Your wife, children, job, everything. Just come. No, how is it possible? My responsibility. Then go. That means we are not discouraging you from doing responsibility, but the point is you want to suffer. That is a problem. So people are attached to suffering and they want to suffer. So Krishna creates a jail for that.
Wow, that's interesting that we are.
And then the jail itself will not make them. The Krishna, he creates a jail and he knows that only the jail will not make them understand that they should give up suffering. Just suffering will not make people understand that they are suffering and they should give up suffering. What makes them understand is the beautiful, attractive pastimes of Krishna, which he comes and performs in the jail. And that, when somebody sees those pastimes, hears about those pastimes in the material world, then actually people will be delivered by get attracted to him. That's the point.
Yes. So in the fifth verse, now Kapila Devi is talking about the material nature. Gunair vichitra srajatim sarupa prakritim prajaha vilokya mumuhe sadhyaha saiha jnana guhaya. Divided into varieties by her threefold modes, material nature creates the forms of the living entities, and the living entities seeing this are illusioned by the knowledge covering feature of the illusory energy. So what is this knowledge covering feature of Maya Devi?
Maya has got two features known as Avaranatmika Shakti and Prakshekatmika Shakti. These are the two features of Maya. And what is the meaning of Avaranatmika Shakti? Avaranatmika Shakti means covers the knowledge of the living entity that he forgets that I am servant of Krishna. And then Prakshekatmika Shakti. Then what Maya does, it throws down into lower and lower species into the material existence, make them suffer. So in this way, Avaranatmika Shakti and Prakshekatmika Shakti, both of them, they act so that the living entity continues his suffering in this material world.
So Maharaj, in the seventh verse, I'll just read the translation directly. Material consciousness is the cause of one's conditional life, in which conditions are enforced upon the living entity by the material energy. Although the spirit soul does not do anything and is transcendental to such activities, he is thus affected by conditional life. So, on one hand, we say the soul has nothing to do with it, he is aloof, he's different from body, and all that. So, who exactly is desiring to come here and suffer if the soul is not? Because body is just inert matter, it can't think and all that, and soul is actually the one. So, what is the role? So, what is the role of the soul here?
It's a very Vedantic question. Now you have the soul. The soul is emitting a light called consciousness. Now, what happens is this consciousness at present is contaminated.
Okay.
So, in the contaminated state of consciousness, there is a mood to control, mood to enjoy. I am the control, I am enjoy. That is called contamination. So this contaminated state of consciousness is that thing which is experiencing the pleasure, pain, etc., etc. The qua soul has nothing to do with all these things. Now, we say, when some danger comes, oh, I'm going to die. Now, who is saying that I am going to die? Because the soul never dies. Who is experiencing death? The soul can never experience death. Thirst, is it in the tongue? Is it in the throat? Is it in the stomach? Where is it? It is there in that chitta. So that is why this concept of chitta is specifically spoken in the Srimad Bhagavatam. In the Bhagavad Gita, the word chitta has not been included as one of the aspects of subtle body. It's only three subtle bodies, that is mind, intelligence, and false ego. But one place Krishna talks about Sangada Chetana Dhriti. Okay, we'll not get into that. Now here in the Bhagavatam, Kapil Muni talks about four subtle bodies. That is Chitta, Buddhi, Manaha, Ahankara. Chitta, Ahankara, Buddhi, Manaha. That is mind, intelligence, false ego, and contaminated state of consciousness known as Chitta. So we'll come to know about it as we go further in this chapter.
So that is what he's going to talk about, this Anthakarana and all that.
Anthakarana, yes.
Okay. So, Maharaj, then this whole section, with the next section, we have actually touched upon it in the previous chapters also, the Karana Srishti, Karya Srishti and all that. But definitely these topics, it's good the more we revisit and rehear, it will definitely benefit us. So if you can again revisit Karana Srishti for our audience's benefit, my benefit also. So about the Pradhana, the Mahattattva, the influence of the time and all these various elements, the Ahankara in three different modes. So if you could please describe it in detail.
So we have material nature, which is known as Prakriti, and it has another name, Pradhana. So when Krishna has a desire to create this world, what happens is he does his drishti. From his two eyes, the two rays come. One is known as Jiva Shakti, other is known as Kala Shakti. So by influence of Kala, time, this Pradhana or Prakriti becomes Mahattattva, which is a golden egg, which is active. The sleeping, the states of the modes of material nature are sleeping in Pradhana. Because of the Kala Shakti, what happens? The modes of nature becomes agitated, and they take the form of Mahattattva.
Okay.
And is Mahattattva again then becomes one thing called Tamasa Buddhi or Ahankara. This Mahattattva level is known as Chitta. So Chitta and Mahattattva are one and the same, one at the cosmic level, that is Samishti and Veshti. Samashti and Veshti. So here this Mahattattva becomes Ahankara. Ahankara is another name called the Tamasa Buddhi.
Okay.
So this Ahankara is projected through mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. When ahankara is projected through mode of goodness, the mind and the sense devatas are manifest. When ahankara is projected through passion, the five working senses, five knowledge-gaining senses are manifest. And ahankara, when it is manifest through mode of ignorance, then the panchendriya, panch mahabhutas, and the tanmatras are manifest. In this way, these are the three kinds of creation, which again has been described in this chapter. Not only that, these things, the qualities are described. That is the speciality of this chapter, of quality of ear, skin, tongue, nose, voice, hands, feet, etc. The quality of each of the elements of what is mind, what is ahankara. These things are also described. So you have these three things come manifesting from the tamasa buddhi or ahankara, which is from mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So this is how Vaikarika, Taijasa, Tamasa, these three words are used. Vaikarika means when ahankara manifests through goodness, what happens? That is called Vaikarika, Rajasa, and Taijasa, Tamasa. So these are the three terms which have been used to indicate these three levels of creation. Yeah.
Okay. So you talked about four things earlier: the mind, the intelligence, false ego, and chitta, the contaminated consciousness. This is the subtle body. So now gross body, we don't have to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Just the influence of time, the gross body is going to dissolve, it will die, again will take birth and things like that. So for liberation, so we have to dissolve the subtle body. So that takes conscious effort, because that is not going to dissolve on its own, and that is subtle body is actually going with the soul. In fact, it's the one that's carrying the soul from body to body. So how can one become, I mean, intellectually, okay, we can sit here and listen and try to make sense out of it. But in my day-to-day life, how do I understand how my false ego is getting manifested? How do I first of all become aware of my ahankara? And second of all, how can I consciously try to dissolve my ahankara so that way I am progressing in my Krishna consciousness?
The ahankara is dissolved only when you take up the real ahankara. What is the real ahankara? That is, I am servant of Krishna. It is that the soul has no ahankara. It has ahankara, but it is pure. The soul also has hands, legs, etc., but they are all pure. They are not material. So it will transform our material body into spiritual body. That happens by transforming our consciousness from material to spiritual. So what is the material consciousness? To think I am God, that is material consciousness. I am the enjoyer, I am the controller, because God is controller and enjoyer. And what is spiritual consciousness? Very simple. That is, I'm servant of God. Simple. Once you are situated in the platform and I'm servant of God, especially not only just serving God, serving Krishna, but to actually accept that I am servant of Krishna. So that is the only way that we can get out of this mithya hankara and then be situated in the proper hankara.
Okay. So Manoj, now diving into the 16th verse, just briefly. The influence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is felt in the time factor, which causes fear of death due to the false ego of the deluded soul who has contacted material nature. So here the time factor is said to cause fear of death, but this is not so for the devotees, right? We know Dhruva Maharaj, he literally stepped on the personified death and he went into the spiritual plane. So if you can throw some light on this aspect.
Yeah, when death comes for a devotee, actually he sees Krishna in death and becomes very happy. When a person is not a devotee, when he sees that when even Krishna comes, he sees him as death. Mrityor Bhojapate. Krishna is so beautiful, so wonderful. When Kamsa saw, oh, he saw death has come. You see, when death comes, people see Krishna devotees see Krishna and become happy. But when people see Krishna, are supposed to be happy, but these people, demons, they become afraid, they are fearful of death. So that is a basic difference between the perception of a devotee and perception of a non-devotee about death. Like, for example, a learned student, a student who is well prepared for the examination, he's happy to face the examination. Whereas a student who is not prepared for the examination, just did time pass, he has not studied, he's afraid of the examination. So examination is the same for both. But one who is studied sincerely studied during his class and in his home, the textbooks and all, then there is no problem for him. Examination is a bliss for him. For this boy who has not said, examination is a fear. The same way here also. For a devotee, death is no fear. Death is actually embraces death. Wait for death to come, because with death means for him Krishna. But here, all the people, they want to avoid death. I don't want to die. I won't want to die. The whole research, medical science, just to avoid death, not to maintain health. As long as you're living, maintain a good life. No, I'll fall sick. I'll do all kinds of crazy things, eat anything, and then fall sick. When the death comes, no, I don't want to die. I spend all the money you earned in that, or just to extend your life for few more weeks or few more days in the ICU.
So Maharaj, earlier in one of your answers, you talked about the golden egg. So in the 19th verse also, this golden egg is called as Hiranmaya. So I guess you were referring to the same thing. So what is this golden egg? Is this the universe?
It is the Mahat Tattva. Mahat Tattva is known as the golden egg.
Okay.
So Daivat Kshivitaha Dharminyam Swasyam Yono Parapuman Adattavirya Shashuta Mahat Tattvam Hiran. So Mahat Tattva is the Hiranmaya. Like when you are the modes of mental nature are sleeping, it is known as Prakriti or Pradhana. Because of the influence of time on Pradhana, it becomes agitated, becomes golden. And because of the modes of nature, it becomes active. So the Mahat Tattva has been described here as Hiranyamayam because it has the brilliance of gold.
Okay. So Maharaj, now a major section, slokas 33 to 45, talks about the characteristics of elements. You have already touched upon it, about the soul, about the ethereal element, the touch, taste, smell, odor, all the different things. So is there from this section, just overall, is there anything we have to take away? What we have not already discussed?
Yeah, the overall takeaway is when somebody studies this section again and again and can't start contemplating and seeing that how Krishna is such a wonderful physicist, that how Krishna is a wonderful chemist, how Krishna is the ultimate doctor, Krishna is the ultimate physician, Krishna is the ultimate surgeon, Krishna is the ultimate astronaut, as Krishna is the ultimate cosmologist, Krishna is the ultimate you name it, politician, you name it.
Yeah.
That means all the subjects are covered in this chapter. Yeah. So if you have studied this chapter very nicely, then it's like the formula to understand anything in this world, explain anything in this world. All engineering, you name it, everything is there in this.
So Maharaj, my sincere apologies. To be honest, when I was reading this section, it does seem dry to me. It is just my consciousness, I believe. So I had to read several times, but I was like, oh my God, what is going on here? So how can we actually develop taste for relishing the quote unquote dry sections also? With no offense to what is being discussed, but that's just how I felt.
Because you're experiencing Krishna Prem Rasa, that is why these things are very dry to you. But a person like me, who is just wanting to know more and more about matter, these things seems to be very interesting. Anyhow, it doesn't matter whether it interests you or doesn't interest you. It is there in the Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is interesting. whether we are interested or not in Bhagavatam, but Bhagavatam is interesting.
Yes.
Like Krishna is always interesting. Some devotees like Krishna's one part of the body to other part of the body. That's fine. But that doesn't mean that it is not interesting for anybody else.
Yes.
So for someone, the chest of Krishna is very interesting. For someone, the face of Krishna is very interesting. But the one who is interested in the face of Krishna cannot say, "Hey, your chest is not interesting at all. How are you so interested in that?" It doesn't work like that. So somebody is interested in some section of Bhagavatam, somebody is not interested in another section of Bhagavatam. But the point is that how when you are dealing with matter, for example, you're taking food. Now you take your breakfast, you're going to take lunch now. So when you take lunch, when you're chewing, at the time, how can you be Krishna conscious when you're chewing food? I'll tell you, today when you take your lunch, you can be Krishna conscious or become more Krishna conscious. Krishna conscious, not only thinking it's prasad. When you chew, you just take a little bit sip of water, just a sip, that's all, not much. And you'll find the same food becoming more tasty. And why? Because Krishna, he says, I am the taste in the water. And the taste in water. So all the taste is because of is water, not because of your rice, dal, or sabji. The taste is because of the saliva produced from your mouth. When the saliva doesn't produce, even though you give the person most tastiest thing, he'll not experience the taste. Now, Krishna says in this particular section that the nature of water, the nature of ocean. So when you take bath in the ocean, then your stomach diseases are called are cured. So how is it possible? It is because of the technology of Krishna. The whole world is a Krishna technology. You may have different tech. Like a mobile is very interesting. Somebody was saying yesterday, why do you use this mobile? You got a outdated mobile. You should use this iPhone, Apple. He was telling something. He has got that feature. I had no interest in that because I don't know what he's speaking all the terms. But for that person, it's very interesting. Just imagine one stupid iPhone is very interesting for that person. One who created this world, how interesting it is. Just imagine, I'm lifting my hand. It is because of the air, it's not because of the muscles, not because of the blood flow and all. It's all because of what? Because of the vata in my body. And the modern science has no clue of what is vata. They have no idea what it is. So you can become a best doctor. The whole world is understanding that your heart got blockages. That is why you got a heart attack. There are many heart attacks which people experience who has zero blockage. How do you explain that? There is no blockage. There is no blockage at all, but still they died of a heart attack. Why? And why all the heart attack happens in the morning time only, 3:30, 4 o'clock at that time? It is because heart attack is a vata roga. If you have not controlled your vatas properly, then you're prone to heart attack. Where do you get this knowledge from? Because all the movements in this world is because of vata. So somebody had a constipation. Oh, the constipation is because of that, this. No, it's vata roga because you changed. You go for a walk and come back and then do some breathing, take rest for 2 hours, constipation is gone. You have to see that vata has. So where do you get all this knowledge from? It's science, Krishna's technology. Is a IIT, Indian Institute of Technology, is a KIT, Krishna Institute of Technology. And that whole chapter is that. Okay.
Fascinating. Very nice, Maharaj. So, Maharaj, moving forward, this brief section, slokas 50 to 53, Kapila Muni is switching gears. Just now he talked about elaborate description of Karana Srishti, and then he's talking about Karya Srishti, how everything is coming, the Bibrat Sakshi, the cohesive energy of the Lord. Without that, nothing is happening. So, we have touched upon this earlier, but if you can just briefly talk about this Karya Srishti of the Lord.
In this particular chapter,
Mhm.
Srila Prabhupada, in one of the purports, he says, this verse becomes the basis of all scientific research.
Okay.
That is BI. Srila Prabhupada founded I don't know which verse is that? Can you find out?
Arya Srishti section is shlokas 50 to 53. Are you talking about something from here?
I'll talk about no, before that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Before that only. When yeah, go to chap this third canto, 26th chapter. Yeah, 34th verse.
Okay.
Where it talks about this is very nicely explained here. This verse is the potential basis of great scientific research. That is Bhutanam Chidradatvatvam Bhairantaram Pranendriyatmadishyatvam Dishnyatvam Nabhaso Vritti Lakshanam. So Nabha Vritti Lakshanam, when the vrittis or the lakshanas, the qualities of ether are speaking, ethereal qualities of ether. Now the modern science has no idea of what is ether. And that is why they are having so many problems in modern science. So this verse is the basis of solutions to all the problems in the modern science. The Bhagavatam gives a solution to all the problems in the modern science. Once you know ether, immediately you have to accept Krishna as God. If you are able to establish the entire world, the scientific community, that something called ether is there, then that is why Srila Prabhupada established BI, not to preach to the scientists, but to establish that Bhagavatam has got it a solution for all the scientific problems which the modern science is facing. So once they come to know that Bhagavatam solves my problem, then immediately they'll read Bhagavatam, they'll all become devotees. So it's not preaching to the science, it's actually saying that the problems what you're facing, we have a solution for it. Scientific. I'm talking raw physics. I'm not talking about the physicists have a problem in explaining different phenomena which are happening in this world. And it is because of their lack of understanding of ether. And that is why Srila Prabhupada establishes BI. The whole BI is based on this one particular verse, that is the 34th verse, about the overview of the entire, all the elements being created, but the mixture of the elements are not happening. And they happen only when Krishna enters them. And also the elements, they need to have the potency to act. Water is there, no taste. Air is there, it's not blowing. So Krishna has to enter into each and every atom, andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham, to make them active. So first he creates and then enters into each and every atom so that they become active and manifest this particular quality. Now you say this is wood, or you say this is paper, you say this is bottle. Why? Why these things manifest different qualities? Because Krishna entered them. Krishna entered wood, that is why wood is wood. Krishna entered iron because that is why it's iron. You have different qualities of different chemicals, reactions. Why? Because Krishna has entered them in a particular way, and that is why he manifests these qualities. So that's what is being discussed practically in the rest of the chapter.
Wow, fascinating. So Maharaj, the very last section, so Virat Rupa is being described again. So in the entire Bhagavatam, I don't know if I am right, Virat Rupa is talked about 5 different times. So, but every single time the purpose of the description of Virat Rupa is different. So in the second canto, first chapter, Virat Rupa was discussed, but there it was discussed that the object of meditation for the neophyte Ashtanga yogi, so they are supposed to meditate on Virat Rupa. And then again in the 6th chapter of Canto 2, Virat Rupa was described. So there it was expressed how Lord is the both material cause and efficient cause of the universe. In that context, it was described. Then again in the 10th chapter of second canto, so when Virat Rupa desired to see, eyes were formed. When he desired to taste, tongue was formed. So like that it was described and said, whatever we desire, we are reciprocally creating our subtle and gross body like that. And then again in the third canto, 6th chapter, Virat Rupa was discussed. So here the Chit Shakti, the universal form created by Lord Chit Shakti, and then now the material elements, so many different things were discussed here. So now again in the 26th chapter of Canto 3, Virat Rupa is coming. So what is the purpose of Virat Rupa's description in this chapter?
I already spoken about it. It is to show that without Krishna,
Mhm.
no element will manifest its function and quality.
Mm.
To show that Krishna is Paramatma. That is the reason.
Mm. Okay. So in the fag end, that is why all the devatas try to wake up Virat Rupa while he is not conscious, and then only when the super soul enters, then he becomes conscious. He wakes
Yes.
up. Okay. So Maharaj, just the brief understanding of the distinction between Atma and Paramatma to end this whole discussion, Maharaj.
Yeah. Atma is Anu, Paramatma is Vibhu. That is essential subject matter, which is of the third canto, 26th chapter.
Okay.
That Atma and Paramatma both are two distinct things.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj. You wanted to say something else, Maharaj?
Yeah. Nothing.
Okay. So I received one question. A devotee, Haigri Avatar Prabhu, sent this question and he requested that I ask it in the 49th episode. So I'll read his question. How to identify in ISKCON if somebody is doing bhakti in tamasic manner and how to elevate oneself? That's his question.
See, you don't have to understand who is tamasic, who is rajasic, who is sattvic, because you'll go mad. To understand somebody, why? You understand yourself, how much sattvic you are, how much transcendental you are. So self-realization is more important.
Okay.
Self-realization means to look into yourself, not to look at somebody else. Look into yourself, how I should perform pure devotional service. Not even sattvic bhakti, but pure devotional service. What is the subject matter of pure devotional service? What is the essence? What is the bag? What is the substratum of pure devotional service? Krishna is happy with me or not? How do you understand Krishna is happy or not? When your guru is happy or not? So you accept your spiritual master, just do what he says and just please him. What pleases the spiritual master is that you do your sadhana and then serve the devotees. If you're doing sadhana and serving devotees, then fine. Then that makes him happy. And that's called pure devotional service. Not interested in what people are thinking about me, what that person is doing, what this person is doing. Everybody has got their life to live. Everybody has got their problems in their life. So I think most important problem in your life is your problems, not others' problems, isn't it? So you solve your problem. Your problem is there. So you do your sadhana nicely and serve nicely and serve others nicely. Accept service and become happy, fine. Don't accept what it's up to you, up to him.
I love how no matter what the question is, how you just cut out all the fluff and get to the core of it. You have that Paramahamsa, you just get to the essence of the matter and give such wonderful answers. And I guess many times that is why you'll start your answer also saying, oh, it's very simple. And then your answers are simple. So very nice, Maharaj. So Maharaj, the very last section now, that is the Brahmastra segment. So I am thoroughly relishing your Chaitanya Leela, that Chaitanya Katha you are giving in Jagannath Puri. Just yesterday's I need to still catch up. So I was in that mood. So I thought let the Brahmastra today from Bhagavatam will move a little bit to Chaitanya Charitamrita. For me, especially the way you are describing these wonderful devotees, Haridas Thakur, our Sanatana Goswami, Raya Ramananda, Swarup Damodar, Raghunath Das Goswami, so many wonderful devotees. So, of course, each one of them are a treasure house of this extraordinary qualities. So Maharaj, for this rapid fire, I'm going to just mention about half a dozen of these devotees. And of course, it's going to be hard to pick one quality about them that really stands out because they have so many. But because it is rapid fire, if you can just, whatever one quality stands out in each of these devotees, you please share that with us. So first I'll start with our Goswamis, Shat Goswamis. So Sanatana Goswami.
His relationship with everyone. Dhira, dhira, jana, priya, priya karo.
Beautiful. Rupa Goswami.
His literature.
Okay. What about Raghunath Das Goswami?
His literature.
For both Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami, you said literature, Maharaj?
No, you spoke only about Rupa Goswami. That's why I told literature.
Oh, okay, okay.
Raghunath Das Goswami did not ask. Maybe I don't hear. Yeah.
So Raghunath Das Goswami.
Next, Raghunath Das Goswami.
Yes.
Vairagya.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Vairagya.
I can't even believe when you talked about Vairagya, he's taking the food that even the cows are not eating and washing that with water and eating. And he came from such a rich background, and that is his level of virakti. So inspiring. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami.
Singing Bhagavatam. 3-4 tunes he would sing, one verse.
Wow. What about Jiva Goswami?
Cutthroat philosopher.
Cutthroat philosopher. Brilliant. What about Gopal Bhatta Goswami?
Which Goswami?
Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Gopal Bhatta Goswami.
Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So, very, very dear to Chaitanya.
So, Haridas Thakur, Maharaj.
Das Thakur. Tolerance.
Tolerance, yeah. Jagadanand Pandit. It was quite humorous about Jagadanand Pandit. The scented oil and all that. No matter what it is, cook for Krishna, cook for Chaitanya. The next one, Srivas Thakur.
Srivas Thakur, his attachment to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was more than, even his son died actually. Still he was attached to the Sankirtan moment. That's very, very inspiring.
Yeah.
Undisturbed by anything.
Wow. Swarup Damodar.
How to pacify Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's emotions by singing Gita Govinda.
Jai. Raya Ramananda.
Even Chaitanya would appreciate Rai Ramananda, his Krishna Katha. I don't know Krishna Katha. You want to hear Krishna Katha? You go and hear from Rai Ramananda. He'll speak. Speaking Krishna Katha.
I really liked Raya Ramananda in your class, how you were explaining. He was training these dancers and all that. Somebody went and spoke about that to Chaitanya. The way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied to that was so wonderful. Very nice. Last but not the least, Mahaprabhu's personal servant, Govinda.
Oh, for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, servant Govinda, for the service of Chaitanya, he can transgress the etiquette. But for his own, he will not transgress the etiquette. That is, today we're going to discuss that.
Oh, Jai. Wonderful. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Maharaj. The clarity and conviction with which you explain all these wonderful topics is really mind-blowing to me. So, although I said certain sections, I feel it dry because I just wanted to be honest about it. But I think just by hearing to you, that dryness will go away, and I will definitely start relishing these sections also. So, thank you very much, Maharaj, week after week, for taking the time out and sharing your wisdom so generously and enlightening all of us. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, there you go. So, this was our 49th episode where we discussed about the 26th chapter of Canto 3 of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, please go through it. It's quite a big chapter, 72 verses actually. Go through them. And if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. So, the next episode is going to be the golden episode of 50th. So, there we are going to continue this discussion of Devahuti Kapila Muni Samvada conversation. So I'm sure there are so many other gems that we are going to pick up in the upcoming episodes as well. So we will catch you very soon in the next episode. Until then, as always, stay inquisitive and stay Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Krishna.